Hello, and welcome to the continuation of the storyline, Original Sin: Hulk vs. Iron Man. In a brand new set of Hulkbuster armor, Iron Man is attempting to repel the Hulk. Even though he feels terrible about what caused this attack, he understands that he must hit Banner as hard as he can. Iron Man attempts to use a potent sonic weapon to blast the Hulk, but the Hulk violently claps his hands together, sending Iron Man flying through several Troy buildings. Gamma grenades are placed all around him in an attempt to defend himself, but the Hulk descends from above. The Hulk is intelligent and deserves all he is going to get, Tony Stark discovers to his surprise at that point. Tony Stark reflects on the past and remembers how he and Bruce Banner initially met and collaborated while attending college. But Tony was aware that Bruce Banner was harboring a bomb that would eventually detonate. The two eventually drifted apart as Tony benefited from his family's money. Then Tony remembers how Bruce was shot in the head by an adversary and left in a vegetative state. He and his brother Arno employed extremists to fix his mind and return his brain to normal. After that successful surgery, Banner's creativity was on overdrive and he came up with things that even Tony found impressive. Tony was worried about Banner's mental health and kept a tight eye on him as he began looking into the murder of the Watcher on the moon. The Orb, who had taken one of Uatu's eyes, was ultimately confronted by Earth's heroes as a result of this. For some reason, Stark started to recall the gamma bomb explosion that transformed Banner into the Hulk when Iron Man and the Hulk were struck by the blast. For the military brass, Bruce Banner was presenting his gamma bomb. His lecture diverts from the bomb's development to discuss what he expects gamma radiation exploitation will signify for the future. Banner starts to stumble for a response as Ross presses for an explanation. Tony Stark then entered the room and halted the lecture. Tony starts mingling with the assembled politicians and military leaders while slightly inebriated and holding a martini in his hand. He then assures everyone that they are getting a great deal for Bruce's work and supports it wholeheartedly. Tony insists that it is brilliant despite the fact that he would tweak some of the core concepts. The only issue he discovers is that the bomb may be made to be more devastating. This prompts the audience to press Banner for an explanation of why he didn't create the bomb as potent as possible. After being barraged with inquiries, Bruce temporarily loses his cool and yells at everyone to be quiet. He tells them that he prepared the device to do what they paid him to do once he has regained his composure. He wants to use this knowledge and the money he earns to further his study into harnessing gamma radiation to alleviate world hunger, and advance medical procedures like illness treatment. Ross continues to press him to explain why the bomb isn't being made as powerfully as it can be. When Tony tries to add his own perspective, Bruce cuts him off and labels him a war profiteer. Tony takes exception to this and argues that while he too wants to contribute to a better world, he must use the money he earns from inventing weapons for the military to support his other endeavors. Finally, he claims that these individuals do not desire conflict, but rather the maintenance of peace, which they can only achieve by demonstrating their might. Banner orders him to leave. Ross argues for Stark to stay as he attempts to leave. Bruce is sternly requested to repeat what he just said by Tony. When he does, Tony exits, informing everyone that tomorrow's performance will be adequate, and urging Bruce to remain sober because it fits him. Tony awoke at Avengers Tower at that time with Maria Hill and Captain America watching over him. More memories of Bruce Banner start to rush through his head, confusing him. He inquires as to Hulk's fate following the conflict, but nobody has any idea. Iron Man sprints outside to find him. Bruce Banner is likewise having trouble at that very moment with the memories he stole from Tony Stark. Bruce searches through a top-secret archive for the Gamma Bomb Project files because he now thinks Tony Stark tampered with his Gamma Bomb, and is to blame for the Hulk,